I will take you back to my first year of teaching, which was 1991. So imagine 12 years ago. Okay, so 1991, I was right out of college, getting ready, going to Teach for America. It was the second year of Teach for America. So 1991, just for reference, you were in 5th grade. So I was teaching 6th grade at a middle school. So my middle school, they were 1 year older than you are now, or they are. I had, and you have these, whether you realize them or not, we had to write them down. I had like premises. I started my first year with ideas. You've got them. Ideas like, you have ideas about what kids respond to. Because everything that you do, when you make a lesson plan, someone says, is that going to work? You say, yeah, it's going to work because kids respond to this, 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 and this. Or, discipline plan. No, that's not going to work. Why not? Because kids don't respond to this, this, and this. So you have these things. And almost every decision you make is based on your teaching premises. And my premises were pretty straightforward. One, I said all children can learn, which I never lost even when things got bad. And I even never lost number 2, which was all children want to learn. I thought that was a really important one to have, because too many people, when they struggle, can say, well, these kids don't want to learn. Then, this is where they start getting a little less obvious. Kids have not been successful with the same old boring routine. The guy with the tie and the textbooks and the worksheets and the rows are in order and they give out index cards on the first day. That doesn't work, because if the old boring traditional thing worked, why would there need to be Teach for America? Why would there need to be all these other things that are coming up? So that was kind of important. And now, I figured kids will behave, my last premise, kids will behave if they have a good teacher who they're learning from. They want to learn, so if they have a good teacher who they're learning from, they're going to behave. The thing is, there's a lot of definitions of not only good teacher, there's a lot of definitions of that, but there's also a lot of definitions of learning and what that actually means. So I just took, definitions that I heard. And good teaching, had to be doing a lot of projects and a lot of really, wild stuff. And learning, no quizzes, no worksheets. Learning was, a portfolio and things like that. Now, just so you know, the second big mistake I made is I only heard the things I wanted to hear. I only heard the theories that seemed to agree with what I hoped and what I believed to be true. So with that, I was going to go be very non-traditional. I was going to make it fun. Someone once said to me, or they kind of said this, but they didn't say this was the only thing you can do, but they brought this up. They said, why don't you make your lessons so fun that it's more fun than misbehaving? Because if your lesson's more fun than misbehaving, then even if the kid doesn't, feel like learning that day, even if their choice is to go for the most fun, they're going to have to do your lesson. So it's like a no-lose situation. So I'll make it fun, and if they stop behaving, the consequence, one of them is going to be able to stop. It just won't be fun anymore. The fun guy is going to go away. Now, I didn't really have a discipline strategy. I heard, discipline is important, you need classroom management, but I kind of thought fun lessons were going to lead to classroom management because the kids are going to be behaving because they're seeing how, what a good teacher I am. Well, I didn't want discipline also. I didn't want the kind, like you're a veteran teacher saying, oh, in my classroom you could hear a pin drop. I didn't want that. That sounded, I was going to teach 6th grade in a middle school. I felt like if you could hear a pin drop in a 6th grade middle school classroom, something's wrong, something's up. They just must be zoned out or something. So I didn't want that. I figured, hey, if the kids need to make a little noise, if that's going to help them learn a little more, that's fine. My job is not to keep them silent. My job is to teach them. Just in case things weren't going to work, I had like a book, Lee Cantor, Assertive Discipline, and it said, listen, if things get out of hand, you give your verbal warning, you write a name on the board, you put a check next to it as the next one, all these sort of these tactics. If that doesn't work, you give detention. If that doesn't work, you call the parents, and as a last resort, you send them to the office. So I had that, in sort of my back pocket just in case. So I get ready for my first day of teaching, and I'm scared because I had seen all the movies, like in teaching movies, like Dangerous Minds. If they teach you anything, they teach you that the first day of school has got to be the hardest day of the school year. That's the time when you come in and kids are like fighting and they got the radio on and kids doing their hair and everyone's running around. So I was prepared for the worst. But also, like the teaching movies, see, I figured the teaching movies also teach you that all they're doing on that first day is trying to run you out on the first day. But as long as you come back on the second day, you know, and if you like Dangerous Minds, you get the leather jacket going, and you're right, I know karate, and it's fine. So even if you have a bad first day, you can still have a pretty good first year. But I was scared, and I was sort of prepared for the worst. So I come in, you know, we have, I was teaching middle school. We only have little short, like 15-minute periods the first day because of like a big assembly. So I come in with a diagnostic assignment. So here it is. So here's diagnostic, you know, 6th grade, got the adding, subtraction. You might notice it's not like typed or anything. That was okay. You know, I'm going to come at them from a different angle everywhere. So this is kind of the homespun approach. So I give that out, and to my surprise, I got really lucky, I guess, because the kids just, there were no horror stories on the first day. The kids just sat, and they just worked, and they just did all their work, and never made a sound. And it went that way for a while. So then I started teaching. Now, we had textbooks, brand new, pink, you know, textbooks, but I didn't, my philosophy was that the textbooks didn't really suit their needs, so I needed to make my own stuff. So the textbooks are all lined up, but I make my own things. You know, I want them to really understand now. They're not just going to know how to multiply by using the times tables. They're going to understand, you know, that counting, adding, and multiplying all are sort of intertwined. And you can answer one question, you can count in windows, or you can add them, or you can multiply. Same answer. So if you ever forget, you know, you can actually work it out by adding. And for assessments, you know, no big worksheet with questions, but they drew their own pictures, you know, like this, and they did them, and they did them great. And things were going pretty well. But what I learned, and what I later was to find out, was that the first day of school is not the hardest day of the school year. The first day of school is the easiest day of the school year, and the first week is pretty easy also. Like teachers call it the honeymoon period. So it's like a wedding honeymoon. It's the time when everyone's, you know, happy and no one's on each other's nerves and everything is great. What I came to learn is that also, like the wedding honeymoon, it was a time that I was likely to get screwed. Which is so the kids didn't know the times tables. So I had to give them the times tables, but I didn't want to just give them the times tables. Here's the times table. You know, they've seen the times tables. How many times have they seen the times tables? It didn't work for them. They're in 6th grade. They don't know the times tables yet. So I'm not just going to give them the times tables. I'm also going to give them the alternative times tables. Now, the wacky times tables has all the same information as the regular times tables, except it's in kind of like a random order. So, you know, like anytime you want to give yourself a little times table quiz, you know, you can just kind of pick any two numbers and study that way. You have both, you know, but this one is on the top. And after the first 2 weeks, or after the first, basically after the first 2 weeks are pretty smooth. First 2 weeks are pretty smooth, but then kids start talking.